what is multiplication? Well, if I multiply something, for example, if I have 3 times 4, essentially what I'm saying is I have 4 of something, I'm going to make 3 groups of it. So let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to add 4 apples. 1, let me duplicate this, duplicate 2, 3, 4. So I have 4 apples. 1 apple, 2 apples, 3 apples, 4 apples. Move that over there. Let me zoom out a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm multiplying this by the number 3. So I want 3 groups of 4 apples. So that means I'm going to have to add more apples. I'm going to have to add in 3 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 2 groups of apples. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 3 groups of 4 apples. So in this instance, 3 times 4, well, let's count them up. 3 times 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 3 times 4 is 12. But we all should have known that. So let's have a look at what multiplication looks like when you include fractions. Let's zoom out here, let's go somewhere else. So we're looking at how to multiply fractions. So let's say I have 2 and I want to multiply it by half. This is fairly straightforward, and maybe some of you are already doing this in your head. But let's have a look at what this question's asking us. It's saying that I have half of something, before we had half of an apple, and I'm going to make 2 groups of that. So I'm going to add in half an apple. Let's find that apple. Here's that apple again. And I'm going to half him. Just by cropping out half, I can tell that's 2 equal slices. Got 1 half. I'm going to actually delete this guy. I don't need him. Got 1 half. And now I have 2 halves. 1, 2. So this question is telling me, it's saying that I have 1 half and I'm going to make 2 groups of 1 half. So this is my first group and this is my second group of a half. And so what I have now is I have 2 pieces out of 2 slices. And we know that we can simplify that. We know that when the denominator is greater or the same as the numerator, there is a whole number in there. So we know that 2 over 2 is 1 whole. So we know that 2 times half, or 2 times 1 over 2, is equal to 1 whole, or 1 whole apple. But I'm sure a lot of you were able to do that in your heads. So let's have a look at something that might be a little bit more complicated. Oh, don't want to grab that. Okay, let's go down here. Let's go further and further away. So let's just say I have 4, the number 4, and I want to multiply that by 2 thirds. This question is telling me that I have 2 thirds and I want to make 4 groups filled with 2 thirds. Now, apples is kind of hard to do here again. So let's have a look at a different way of representing 2 thirds. I might just draw something. I'll draw it in red. So 2 thirds, if I have, actually, we've been doing lots with bars. Let's draw a bar. Divide this into thirds. It's saying that I have 2 thirds, that's 2 thirds, and I need 4 groups of 2 thirds. Now I think I can actually click on this and duplicate this. I need to duplicate this 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I have 2 thirds, 2 thirds, 2 thirds, 2/3. I have 2/3 4 times. Let's count up how many thirds I have. I've got 1, well, let's pick a different colour. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 thirds. Or I know that my denominator here is greater than my numerator, so let's move over here. I know that 3 goes into 8, well 3, 6 twice. This equals 2. 6, 7, 8, there's 2 remainders, and it's still out of thirds. So I know that 4 times 2/3 equals 2 wholes and 2 thirds. Alright, let's try and do this again. Let's try and do this with something else. Keep moving those, I don't want to. Alright, we'll go underneath it because we're not going too far away from our original problem. Let's have a look at 5. 5's a lovely number to work with. 5 multiply by 5/11. Okay, that's a bit more complicated. So I have to draw out 5/11. I'm going to draw this out once. Picking a different colour. Let's pick blue this time. I'm going to make my bar a little bit bigger so I can draw that into 11ths nice and easily. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, add 9, 10, 11. That's my 11th, and I'm saying that I have 5/11ths. Let's shade in 5/11ths. 1 11th, 2 11th, 3 11th, 4, 5. I have 5/11ths. Okay, so it's telling me that I have 5/11ths, but I want to multiply that by 5. So I want to have 5 groups of those 5/11ths. So come here. I've got to click on that. I want to duplicate. Oh, I don't want to. I want to duplicate just him. I don't think it's going to let me just duplicate him. Let me cut him. There we go. 1, 2. I've got 3 actually. 4 and 5. I have 5 groups of 5/11ths. So let's count up how many 11ths I actually have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I can count in 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I have 25 11ths. Let's just move over here a little bit. Oh, let's zoom out so we can see it all. I have 25 11ths, and of course I know that that can be simplified. I know that that's an improper fraction because I know that 25 is greater than 11, so I know that there's going to be one group of 11. 11 plus 11 is 22. It's going to be 2 groups of 11. 22, 23, 24, 25. 3 left over, and out of 11ths. And 11ths is a prime number. I can't simplify that anymore. So let's bring my question back over here. 5 times 5/11ths equals, where's my pen? It equals 20, equals 25 11ths, and that in its simplest form is 2 wholes and 3 11ths. Okay, let's see if you can have a go at doing your own one on your whiteboards. So move over here. The question I'm going to give you is I'm going to give you 3. Well, let's undo that. I don't like that 3. I can do a much nicer 3. 3 times, let's do 2 quarters equals unknown. All right, maybe some of you are thinking ahead, and some of you are maybe going, well, I know an equivalent fraction to 2 quarters, and that's simpler for me to do. Maybe some of you have no idea what I'm talking about, and that's okay too. So let's draw out together. Let's draw out on our whiteboards. I'll give you some time to do this. Let's draw out 2 quarters. So we'll start by drawing our bars, and here's an easy way to do quarters. Cut it in half, half again, quarters or fourths. I've got my bar cut into fourths, and I need to shade in 2 of those because I've got 2/4. And some of you might now be seeing that 2/4 is equivalent to 1/2. So draw on your boards a bar cut into fourths and then show me 2/4 of that. Now what we want to do is we want to duplicate what we've just done there. We want to duplicate it, we want to multiply it. Multiply it's a far better word. We want to multiply 2/4 by 3. So I want to see 3 lots of this. Oh no, 1 extra. Whoopsies. I'll just delete you. Goodbye. No, I don't want to delete it. I don't want to delete him. I want to delete him too. There we go. We've got 3 times 2/4. But what's our answer? Well, let's count up how many quarters we have. We have 1/4. Do this in a different colour. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, 5/4, 6/4. We know 3 times 2/4 is the same as 6/4. But we should know that that can be simplified. So let's move over here. I know that 4 goes into 6 once, so I know there's going to be 1 hole in there, and there'll be 2 left over, like remainders, 2/4. And some of you might be thinking, oh, there's my answer, but can you see something about 2/4 here? And going, oh, well, we can simplify that again. 2/4 is equivalent to 1/2.